Yo, what is up everybody? Chris here from Fake Sports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a super quick preview of what to expect going into this weekend's matches. That of course being the CDL Pro-Am or CDL Major 1, live from Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you guys are not familiar with what the Pro-Am is, let me give you a quick rundown of what the format is. Basically, we have placement matches as you can see on the screen. This is the beginning of our tournament bracket. So, today we will see who the first and second seed coming out of the group is, and I believe the fourth seed goes home, and the third seed maybe starts in losers for the real bracket. I'm pretty sure that's how the format works. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see tomorrow in the next video. But anyways, staying on topic, the basic idea is that 4 amateur teams from the challenger scene globally, players from APAC, Latin America, Europe, and North America, all square off on land. They squared off on Wednesday, of course yesterday at time of recording, and the 4 best teams made it through. That was Decimate, LA Guerillas Academy, I think they're called Poyodrome, right, and the last team was Decimate. Did I say Decimate? No, Elevate, my bad, it was Elevate. That's Gizmo's team. So, without further ado, let's get into the bracket. The 4 best amateur teams are slotted into 4 different groups with our 12 CDL teams. So there's 3 teams from the Pro League in the group and then 1 amateur team. So now you guys have an idea of the actual format of the tournament. Let's get into what I'm expecting to happen today. So I'm thinking our first matchup in the bracket, we will of course, I don't know how the schedule works, but I'm just going to go in order from top to bottom. I think Minnesota Rokkr walk away with it pretty convincingly. It's Decimate, they're an amateur team, and it's Rokkr, our #1 seed in the league right now. So I have Rokkr moving through to the qualifier round in the winner's side. And on the other side of the bracket, after a lot of deliberation, I think the New York Subliners are the team that will make it through, even though the Guerillas are coming off a really important momentum win over the Boston Breach. I do still favor the Subliners in Respawn, and I think that will be the difference that makes the difference in this series. I don't know that the Subliners will allow it to go to a map 5. If they do, then I definitely favor Guerillas there, but as it stands, I'm going to say Subliners get through. So I have Rokkr versus Subliners as our matchup in the top half of the bracket for first seed, and then in the bottom half of the bracket, I have Guerillas taking on Decimate Gaming. I think Guerillas win that pretty convincingly. And then in the qualifier round above, in the winner's side, I think the Guerillas, I think the Minnesota Rokkr handle business, get first seed in the group, and then the Subliners drop down to play the Guerillas. And in this second matchup, I do see the Subliners walking away with it again for the same reason. I think their Respawn is just stronger, but if the Guerillas come into it with the right mindset, coming off of a win over Decimate, and of course likely a Subliners loss to the Rokkr, I do think the Guerillas are poised to take second seed if they play their cards right. But as it stands, I think it'll be first seed Rokkr, second seed Subliners. Now moving on to Group B, we of course have Poyodrome, Toronto Loco, oh my gosh, Toronto Ultra, Optic Texas, and the Florida Mutineers. Now I'm expecting Ultra to pretty convincingly beat Poyodrome. That's Journey's team if you're not familiar. And yeah, just to give you guys context also, Decimate is Hollow's team. I think it's Hollow and Yuli and Mach and somebody else. I'm forgetting who the 4th is. Sorry about that. So with that in mind, I think Journey, Yako, Eric Boom, I forget who the 4th is on Poyodrome. But Toronto Ultra, I think, beats Poyodrome in their first series, moving to the qualifier on the upper half of the bracket. And then I think Optic Texas take a pretty convincing victory over the Mutineers to book their ticket to the top half of the bracket as well. And in the matchup between Optic Texas and Toronto Ultra, this one could go either way. The Ultra are definitely one of my favorite teams to win the event. But as it stands, it's really hard to deny Optic, especially after such a wake-up call series against the LA Thieves, where they had the series in their grasp, but they just let it go with small errors. So with that in mind, I think Optic Texas walk away with the first seed in the group. I think the Mutineers beat Poyodrome in elimination round 1. And then in the qualifier round, I think that the Ultra topple the Mutineers to get second in the group. And that's how I think Group B goes. I think #1 seed is Optic Texas, #2 seed is Toronto Ultra. In Group C, we have Atlanta Faze taking on LAG Academy, which is Exceed, Assault, and Joe Deceives, and someone else. I can never remember the 4th player on these teams. I'm sorry, guys. So I think Faze walk with this pretty convincingly, move to the top half of the qualifier round bracket. And then after a lot of deliberation, I think the Seattle Surge move on between these two. The London Royal Ravens just got 3-0 by the LA Thieves. I think they will come back with a vengeance and really give Surge a run for their money. But I expect Surge to walk away with this series and move on to face Faze. And then in the elimination side of the bracket, I expect the Ravens to handle business against LAG Academy. And then I expect them to rematch with Surge in the bottom half of the bracket after Faze move on to take first seed in the bracket. And in this rematch, I honestly think the Ravens will make right on their wrongs, and I think they will move on to get the second seed in the group. So I'm thinking Group C, Faze, Ravens. Group D, I'm thinking Boston Breach, obviously, over Elevate. Elevate is Gizmo's team. They are one of the stronger teams in the group, in the entire tournament. They are the first team that qualified, so they had the best performance, the earliest. And in the bottom half of the bracket, we have the LA Thieves taking on the Paris Legion. Paris Legion, oh my gosh, the Vegas Legion. I'm sorry again, guys. Blunder. I'm so used to calling him Paris. It was 3 years, so I'm conditioned. And honestly, after Vegas's win over the Rokkr, this is definitely an upset series, possibly. I think Vegas definitely plays the Thieves very well. Every time they've matched up in scrims, it's been very, very competitive. And also in their matchup recently, it was super competitive. So I think Thieves walk away with this one. I think it's Breach versus Thieves for first seed. And honestly, I think Thieves walk away with first seed in the group. They are an absolute land team. And yeah, I think they walk away with first seed. It's just hard to not put faith in the Thieves to get things right, especially after 3-0ing the Ravens, who have been a pretty formidable team. Obviously not after the M4 being nerfed, but they've been a pretty solid team throughout the season thus far. They're 2-2, so can't really take anything away from those guys. They clearly know how to win series. And the Thieves, they look really good. They beat Optic. They turned things around in a series where they were really getting slammed, and I think that bodes well for them going into this tournament. So I have Thieves making out as the first seed after beating Boston Breach. And then, of course, that means in the lower bracket, I have the Legion toppling over Elevate. Elevate is the team that I think has the best chance to topple one of these pro teams because it's Vortex, Steve Vortex, Gizmo, Harry, and can't remember who the fourth player is. So I think this team has potential to upset. It's basically 4 former pros on the same team. But I think Vegas wins, and I think they move on to play Boston Breach in the battle for second seed, and I think Boston Breach walk away with it. So I think in Group A, I'm thinking Rokkr and Subliners get first and second seed respectively. Rokkr 1 seed, Subliner 2 seed. Group B, I'm thinking Optic get first seed, Ultra get second seed. Group C, I'm thinking Faze get first seed and London get second seed in an upset. And then in Group D, I'm thinking the LA Thieves. I'm thinking Thieves for the number 1 seed. And then for the second seed, I'm thinking Boston Breach. So yeah, guys, I'll just about wrap it up for me. Hope you enjoyed all the COD today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you think someone that you know would like this video, be sure to share it with them. Really trying to grow the channel this year. Hope you guys enjoyed all the COD today. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. Don't forget to tune in to the CDL stream early today. It's at 1:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 Pacific Time. If you are in Raleigh, have a good time at the event. And I hope you guys enjoy all the COD action today. Be sure to come back tomorrow for an update on the actual proper bracket. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. So once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News, and I'm signing off. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night like I said before. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.